Hi everybody, so today I'm doing a collab with the Faithful Fab 7. We are doing the 1950s makeup. So in the 1940s, during the war, it was during the wartime, so there was a lot of rationing going on and there wasn't new makeup coming around. So in the 50s, it was a time of growth and prosperity. Oh, by the way, I am using concealer because in 1954, the first concealer was in retail came out called Erase from Max Factor. But the many economies around the world blossomed and grew, and it was the end of rationing opened up a new for new products, and consumers had more spending money. New makeup products and colors appeared, and the luxury cosmetic market took off. Film stars continued their strong influence on the masses and impact styles. Some leading ladies were Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, and Elizabeth Taylor. So I am going in with a cream foundation, and in the 1950s, women liked to match their skin tone. They would use liquid, cream, or cake formulations. And in 1953, the cream puff was invented by Max Factor. It was the first all-in-one base and powder product, which is actually still available today. But the luxury cosmetic market took off, and Helena Rubinstein and Elizabeth Arden were very popular in that time, and Max Factor was still the leading brand for invention. And also in 1952, Boots relaunched No. 7, which is still a brand around today, and Hollywood influenced the packaging in black and gold. And in the 40s, the brand almost went under. So I am powdering my face with a loose powder. They would press it all over the face with the powder puff and then brush off the excess with a cotton pad or a brush to, brush away the excess. But they would go all over. And if you used rouge blush, you would generally powder after the rouge. And if you were going to use a powder blush, you would powder before. Kind of just like what we do today. But yeah, I just pressed it in, and I am using some of my Temu makeup products. And I will, in case you're interested, link down my Temu code, my discount code for 30% off, and the link as well in case you guys want to check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, now I'm just brushing away the excess. And for rouge, I'm going in with like a coral shade. That's from COLLAB. It is a cream formulation, but it turns into powder. That's why I decided to go in after. And I do blend it up, and they also blend it up into the temples and around the head face. They kind of use their rouge to contour. And some popular colors were soft pinks, reds, and corals, and it was definitely blush was more softly, not as prominent. So that's why I brought it up into the temple area. And for brows, I just find my notes for brows. I know they did use brow pencils, and they would do a high arch to define their brows, and the brows were either in medium thickness, or some ladies were even thicker. And skinny brows were no longer fashionable in the 1950s. So I am trying to create an arch. But another fun fact, Avon came calling into people's homes to demonstrate and sell their cosmetic products. And the classic 1950s makeup look was red lipstick and elegant eyes. And so eyeline and mascara for definition. Eyeshadow was simple, using one color, and brows were arched and penciled, and rouge was worn sparingly. So some facts for the 1950s. But there is no one look for the 1950s. Ladies would wear it differently, whether you were a teenager, a housewife, or you had that pinup style. There was all different types of styles of makeup, just like there is today. I was trying to create that arch. And I am also using a Teen Boo eyebrow pencil. And I just brushed it out. Now for eyeshadow. I did decide to go in with my ColourPop Mint to Be because ladies would generally like to use eyeshadow to match their eyes or the color, like the outfit they were wearing. And popular colors were gray, brown, blue, green, and violet. And by the late 50s, shimmers came out. Application was minimal in one color, used on the upper lid, applied with the little finger, and blended out to create a winged look. And for eyeliner, a black line along the upper lash line with a little outward flick was fashionable. The doe-eyed look started in the late 40s and continued into the early 1950s. By the mid 1950s, this had turned more into a cat eye with its outward flick, which varied from long and extended to just there, depending on the wearer. And eyeliner pencils were available in more colors. There was the blacks and browns and grays, and they also came in blues, greens, and purples. But I did more of the longer flick, so this would be more like the pinup style. And I did decide to use a potted eyeliner. And it was a little tricky. I haven't used a potted eyeliner with a brush in a long time, but I really liked the way it turned out. And I am curling my lashes. The eyelash curler did come out in the 1920s, I believe, but it was still widely used by ladies. And for mascara, this is exciting. So black mascara was still used, and there was also a cream mascara and a squeezy tube that came in a small bag with an application brush. Cream mascara with an external wand brush first appeared in the 1950s. Both Helena Rubinstein and Max Factor laid claim to being the creator, but I believe it was Helena Rubinstein first, and then Max Factor came out right after. And there was two colors, black and brown. However, navy, emerald green, gray, and pistachio and violet were available. But I did go with the white liner because I believe this was Marilyn Monroe's little secret. So I decided to go in my inner corners and my lower lash line just to help brighten the look. I do know Marilyn Monroe also did like a dot of red eyeliner in her inner corner to brighten up the whites of her eyes. But so my lips. First, ladies would go in with the powder to make sure their lips were dry, and then go in with the lipstick and blot. So that's what I am doing. But red was the most popular color, and it ranged in different shades of reds. There was a deeper blue-based red, lighter orange base, pink and corals. And lipstick shades that were popular that came out by Revlon were Love That Red, 1951, Certainly Red, 1951, Cherries in the Snow, 1952, Fire and Ice, 1952, and Love That Pink, 1955. And you could still buy them today from Revlon. But yeah, you blot your lips. You always make sure to blot, and then you go over with powder again and apply more lipstick. And this is to ensure that your lipstick will be long lasting and last throughout the day. And this is the same lipstick color I actually used for my 1920s look. But that is it, guys. I would love for you to check out the Faithful Fab 7 ladies and see what they do for their 1950s look. I love this series. Every month we are going to be doing it. See you later. Bye.